about this amount. This is just about...
Within an hour, George Tenet, the director of Central Intelligence, made a spectacular bombshell presentation. We have just learned from a high-level al-Qaeda operative under interrogation about significant contacts between Baghdad's Mukhabarat and al-Qaeda. This was devastating. Here's the director of Central Intelligence telling the Secretary of State that he has interrogated evidence. Well, the secretary turned to me and said, put it back in.
Al-Qaeda continues to have a deep interest in acquiring weapons of mass destruction. As with the story of Zarqawi and his network, I can trace the story of a senior terrorist operative telling how Iraq provided training in these weapons to Al-Qaeda.
Later, I learned that that was Sheikh al-Libi, that it hadn't just instantly happened, it had happened months before, that he'd been waterboarded in Egypt when he did this, no U.S. personnel were present, and he had recanted within a couple of weeks, and we never were told about that.
Every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence.
We were, indisputably, we were lied to.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
As Karl Rove famously said to this reporter, you know, you guys are reality-based communities. We make reality. By the time you figured out, you know, what's wrong with our reality, we moved on to the creation of another reality.
Did you sell or cause to come into the possession of Saddam Hussein weapons of mass destruction?
Did the United States sell to him? Absolutely not.
Iran-Iraq was on such a scale, and I was on the Iranian side, and I went down to the battlefront. I was actually given a gas kit, and so they let me take the train back, right all the way up to Tehran, and the carriages were crammed with Iranian soldiers who'd been gassed. Some were just coughing and retching, and one man was reading the Quran, and every so often put a handkerchief and wiped the blood off his lips. Gradually, the corridors became permeated with this sort of very sick smell. And I realized it was the smell of the gas that they were coughing up from their lungs. And I was going along the corridors, opening all the windows on the night air to try and clean the train out of this smell of, obviously, of chemical warfare. After 2003, I was being attacked on radio shows, especially from America. You're complaining about the American invasion? Are you pro-Saddam? And I said, excuse me, I was on a train of Iranians gassed by the Iraqis. And the chemical components came from the United States at the very time that your Rumsfeld was meeting Saddam.
You were meeting with Saddam Hussein. I think we have some video of that, of that meeting. Tell me what was going on during this
Where
meeting.
did you get this video? From the Iraqi television?
This was from Iraqi television.
When did they give it to you? Recently or back then?
We dug this out of the CNN library.
I see. Isn't that interesting? There I am.
Our war on terror begins with al-Qaeda, but it does not end there.
This very phrase, war on terror, is irrational. It's like saying a war on war, a war on violence, a war that it's nonsense. You're slipping into this possibility of kind of perpetual war.
Morning, darling. How are you?
Blair kept reassuring us, and we kept believing him, because you don't want to think your Prime Minister is deceiving you in the route to a war. There's nothing more serious.
When the Serious Fraud Office launched its investigation into all the crimes that we were uncovering, it turned out that many of these arms deals had been forced through by Tony Blair personally.
He's a dedicated arms salesman. Whenever there was a dispute, ever in government, he always backed the arms sale.
The Serious Fraud Office got to the brink of uncovering the secret Swiss bank accounts by which BAE was funneling money to the Saudi royal family. The Swiss said, we're going to notify the bank account holder.